going to take these lug nuts off to take the wheel off. Use a 22mm socket. Grab the wheel, pull it off. Now I'm going to take the caliper off with the bracket together because I'm not replacing the brakes. I'm going to use a 21mm socket and take these bolts off the caliper bracket. There's 2 of them. And we can slide the whole caliper and bracket off. You might have to twist this a little bit just to compress the piston. That's good. And now we'll just hang this. Use a brake caliper hanger and just find a place to hang it from. Just hang it from the shock right here. Just make sure there's no tension on the hose. Looks good right there. Take this screw out. I'm going to use a T30 socket. And take a hammer. If this rotor doesn't come off right away, if it's not loose, you can tap in these areas right there. Just be careful of the studs. And slide it out. There's a little bit of rust on here. I'm just going to spray some rust penetrant, let it soak for a minute. Now I'll take a 34mm socket, take this nut off. The wheel speed sensor is located right here. There's a 10mm bolt. Just take that bolt out. And pull that bolt out. And just grab the sensor. You might have to use some pliers and twist it, pull it out, set it aside. And you need to remove these 3 bolts that are on the back side of the knuckle. Use an 18mm socket. Take those bolts out. I don't want to ruin the threads on the end of the axle, so I'm just going to use a punch and a hammer. Just give it a tap, try to loosen up the axle from the hub. Now you can use a slide hammer. You can try hitting this with a hammer on the back side and trying to get it off, but sometimes a slide hammer is the only way to go. Just try to pull it off. Now that didn't work for us today. This hub is stuck onto the knuckle a little bit too much. So what I'm gonna do is take these shoes off so that I can get a hammer from the side, and hopefully that works a little bit better. I'm gonna take these springs off. I'm just gonna use some needle nose pliers, some locking needle nose pliers. And just slide it out of the way. Take that off. Now I'm gonna take this adjuster out. You can use a screwdriver, pry the shoes out a little bit. We could adjust it down a little bit as well. And slide that out. And there's the bottom spring. You can use that same needle nose pliers or locking pliers and slide this spring out. There we go. And slide that spring out. Now I'll take these springs out. You're going to use a tool like this and just push down, twist. You got to hold the pin from the back side and slide it out. Do the same on the other side. Take this shoe out. And slide it out. This pin's in my way, so I'll just slide this pin out, set it aside. So now I'm going to use a hammer and just give it a couple hits right here. There it goes. It's moving a little bit. Hit from the other side. Be careful, you don't want to mess up the threads. You could always put the nut on the end of it. There we go. Nice. And there it is. I'm just going to clean up this area right here. You can use a file or a wire brush to get some of the corrosion. If you use a file, just don't go too deep. Don't file away the metal. Just clean it up. You need some anti-seize so that if I ever have to take this hub off again, it's going to be a little bit easier. Just going to put a little on the splines of the axle. Now just make sure you have the shield in the right position. Take the new hub, line it up. And just push it on. And get this all lined up. And then you can start one of the bolts from the back side. You can put a little thread locking compound on these bolts. There we go. Now I'm going to torque these bolts to 96 foot-pounds. And put the axle nut on. I'm just going to take a pry bar. I lowered the vehicle down, and this is going to prevent the hub from spinning while I torque this. I'm going to torque this nut to 151 foot-pounds. I'm going to put these shoes back. I'm going to take this pin, put that pin back first. Take the spring. And just slide this in position. You have to push it on and then twist it. That's why it really helps to have this tool. There we go. You just twist it so the cover is slotted, and then once you go over the pin, then you turn it, and that should lock in place. Do the same on the other one. Here we go, that one's on. Before I put any of the springs on, I'm just going to put the adjuster back in position. You might have to make some minor adjustments with it if you moved it at all. All right. Now I'll take the bottom spring. Let's try to line this up. And get one side started. Take my locking pliers and just get the other side in. There we go. Just make sure that's all the way in. There we go. Now it's in. And it's in on that side. That's good. And put the top spring in. Start on one side. But go underneath here. The adjuster's in the way. There we go. Just like that. Again, use the locking needle nose pliers. And slide that in position. This one's a little easier than the lower one. Make sure you lock it in. Looks good there and there. Perfect. Now we can take the wheel speed sensor and reposition that into the knuckle. And take the bolt, get the bolt started. And snug that up. That's good. Now if you had any rust on the back side of the rotor, you're going to want to clean that up either with a wire brush or a scuff pad. And line this up. You might have to adjust your parking brake shoes. Those are pretty good. You just want them dragging just a little bit. Yep, those seem good. And take that screw, put that screw back in, snug it up. You can take the caliper off the hanger. And just make sure the hose isn't twisted. Slide the pads over the rotor. There we go. And take the bolts. You can put a little thread lock adhesive on them. Get those back in position. Now we can put the caliper bolts back in. You can put some thread locking compound on the bolts. And torque these bolts to 129 foot-pounds. There we go. And throw the wheel up. The lug nuts on. Now I'm going to torque these lug nuts to 140 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. And just go around again. Double check. And because we had the caliper off, it's always a good idea before you start the vehicle, just pump the brake pedal. That way if there's any air gap, that takes away that air gap in between the brake pads and the rotor. That's good.